Ukitaka mapenzi ya kinafiki, basi nenda Ngombe. Ukitaka mapenzi ya kinafiki.
This is a joyride with the rainbow goddess, the rainbow goddess.
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome to the Plant-Based Party Power, where I teach you plant-based recipes.
Today is actually the last recipe I'm going to share with you. Yes, folks, it's my season finale. Thank you so much for sticking around. The first season of Joyride with the Rainbow Goddess ever. It's been so much fun. I've loved sharing all of my recipes and my yoga routine, my dance video, my video about how we can start saving the world from our own personal choices. And if you have not got all of these, please catch up. If you do want to catch any more of my recipes, you can actually follow me on Instagram by Plant-Based Party Power or on my Facebook page, which is also Plant-Based Party Power. Starting 2020, I'm launching my new season. Season 2 is all about traveling.
So the recipe that I'm sharing with you today was inspired by having like a ton of leftover bread, and I thought this was the perfect one to end the season with because after the holidays people tend to have a lot of leftover bread. They buy bread rolls or baguettes. So this is a really easy, delicious way to turn it into something new. We're making bread pudding, and not just any bread pudding. We're making a sweet potato pumpkin spice bread pudding that has candied pecans with a delicious coconut glaze that oozes on top, so you get sweet, salty, gooey, crunchy, chewy, and it really reminds me of cinnamon rolls. Okay, so let's get started. You're gonna cook your sweet potatoes. This is how mine looks. Yeah, I baked mine yesterday because I made some other stuff with sweet potato. And the cool thing about it is that you could literally just throw the whole sweet potato in. You don't even have to wash it or anything. And when it starts like oozing caramel and you can touch it and it feels like soft, that means it's done. Now usually I like to do it really fast, so I just get some water going. I would suggest just doing it the boiling way because that's easier. And meanwhile, your sweet potatoes boil, you're gonna grab your bread and you're gonna cut it into little cubes. Just in case you didn't know, you wanna use a serrated knife for this.
We're gonna start with 2 cups of cooked sweet potato. I just went ahead and like smashed it in there to make sure that it was full amount. And then we're gonna do 2 cups of water. For the 2 cups of water, you can do water, or you can do any kind of non-dairy milk that you like. I just did water because that's what's always available. For my spices, I just combined them all into this cup, and it is 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/2 teaspoon of pink Himalayan salt, 3 cloves, or 1/8 teaspoon of clove powder, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon powder, and 1 teaspoon of ginger powder. Down the hatchet. 1/4 cup of maple syrup, 1/2 cup of, I'm using coconut sugar, you can use whatever you've got. 1/4 cup of coconut oil, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 2 tablespoons of tapioca flour.
Now pour over your bread and give it a little mix. And let it sit while we toss some pecans in some seasonings, or you can toast them as well. I'm going to give them a little chop, and I want to do a little bit more than that, but that's all the pecans I have, so I'm just going to throw some walnuts in there. And I'm going to toss them with a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of salt, a little oil, some maple syrup. Now we're going to grease our pan.
We can start putting our bread in, and what I do is I'll layer the pecans with the bread so that it's got an even amount everywhere. Layer 1, I'm gonna kind of press it down, get some nuts in there.
So yeah, I'm gonna end up doing a second one because it didn't all fit in that one. Now the bake time might vary 5 to 10 minutes depending on what kind of mold you put it into. Like if it's a really high one and it's all in one, like mine went into 2, so I'm putting it in 35 minutes, but sometimes when I've done larger ones, I've let it in for 40 to 45 minutes. So definitely keep an eye out. For your sweet coconut glaze, you're going to need 1 can of full fat coconut milk, half a cup of sugar. I'm using white sugar because I want my glaze to be white, but you can use whatever you want. Half a teaspoon of xanthan gum. Yeah, it's a weird ingredient, but I use it in quite a bit of things, so I recommend buying it. 1/4 cup of warm, hot water if you can. And 2 tablespoons of melted coconut oil. Now blend on high for 1 minute. Let it set in the fridge. And you know what my favorite thing to do is while I'm waiting for food to be done? Clean up, clean up, clean up, yeah!
Do you hear that? It's ready. Check the oven.
Ooh. Ah. Now I know what you want to do is stick your finger straight in there and stick it in your mouth. Well, I just did that and it will burn your tongue, so give it a good 10 minutes before you dig in. That way it'll give it a chance to set up as well. Like if you scoop it out right now, it's just gonna like fall all over your plate, which like that's fine. That's how I've eaten it plenty of times. But if you wanna see its like true setup form, just wait till it cools, baby. Wait till it cools. Mmm. This is so good. Mmm.
Yum. Wow, it's so moist. And delicious. Mmm. Mmm.
It's like perfectly sweet. It's not like when you eat something and it gives you like a sugar rush. You wanna try it?
Mm-hmm.
This is his favorite. So if he doesn't respond, it's because he's in a daydream of bread pudding clouds. Sorry.
It's so good.